Look, you might be dumb if you go to Coachella. It's not 2012 anymore. Festivals are kind of scamming everybody, milking you for every dollar that you brought and every dollar that you're not. This is Hey Kristan. Coachella isn't the same for everyone. Let's see what she put together, huh?
Y'all, why are we at Coachella? The gates were supposed to open at 11. Then they said 12. It's 12 o'clock. Look at this freaking line. Look how long this line is. Okay, and what time is it?
12:07.
Right.
And mind you, you're in the middle of the desert. You're actively dying in this process. This is a litmus test. It's like, see if you're actually smart or not. If you go to Coachella, well, let's put that in the no category.
Right, and we're out here hot, and the freaking gate hasn't opened. Like, come on, Coachella, this is our first day.
Coachella looks fun, but if you pay attention, not everyone is having the same experience.
Fun
Some
from
people are
that
being
angle.
flown out, have luxury accommodations, and getting paid just to be there. And others are budgeting, stressing, camping in hot desert conditions, and sometimes going into debt just to be there. And the crazy part, from the outside, it all looks the same.
Sometimes going into debt. Let's put that number at like, I don't know, 65% of people going into debt that go there.
Welcome to Hey Kristan, a channel where we discuss social topics that affect you, me, and everyone in between. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. In this video, we're breaking down the real cost of Coachella, how influencers are profiting from it, and why the experience is completely different depending on who you are. Let's start with the basics. General admission for 3-day passes in 2026 range from $549 to $649. That alone is expensive. Now you need to factor in the additional costs: the shuttle passes, on-site camping, service fees, the quote-unquote aesthetic outfits, meals, and travel accommodations. And those costs add up fast. Many are spending.
And then there's all the preparation and like the action of bringing rugs and blankets and tables and God knows what else. Holy cow.
Thousands just to enjoy one weekend. So before you even get there, you've already invested a significant amount of money into the experience.
And
This is
energy.
how much it cost me to come to Coachella as somebody who was not sponsored by a brand and had to pay everything out of pocket. So the first cost was the ticket itself. I got the VIP section, which was $12.99 for 3 days, which is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I know most people get the general admission, which is $7.99, which is only like a $500 difference, but in my opinion, it was 100% worth it. You do get closer viewing to some of the stages, and honestly, when the big performers do come out, it gets super packed. So next thing I spent money on was the hotel, which was the most expensive part.
Because how many people are they limited the VIP passes to? Probably a whole ton of people. You know, and they're not really giving you a VIP service. What, you gonna go hang out with them backstage like you used to back in the day? Psych, think again.
It was $2,300 for 3 nights, so Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. And I know it sounds like a lot of money, but for me personally, I was not gonna go camping. I know it's a lot cheaper to go camping, but I've just heard so many horror stories of people, you know, sharing bathrooms, the wind at night, and it's just not for me personally. I also spent money on flights, and that cost me $300 round trip from Oregon to California. And finally, you gotta think of all the extra expenses that are probably gonna be happening during the trip, which is food, drinks, merch, like all the extra stuff that you're going to be paying for, and realistically that's going to cost me around $500. So in total, this...
Did you have friends pick you up? Did you throw in on gas? Did you take an Uber? Because that's way out there, man. Middle of nowhere.
Trip is costing me around $4,000. Obviously, that's for me personally, but if you do want to go, you could probably, you know, get a cheaper hotel, or, you know, go camping, or maybe just get general admission instead of VIP. There's so many things that you could cut off to kind of make it cheaper, but for me personally, to have like a good experience, it's around $4,000. Comment how much you would be willing to spend to go to Coachella.
How much does it cost to go to Coachella?
Guys, you could go somewhere else in the world for a couple of months on that.
Coachella with receipts. So obviously I am not a brand friendly influencer, so I had to pay for Coachella all on my own. And I'm going to Coachella with the entire...
You guys know who this chick is? She got plenty of money. She shouldn't be complaining. She gets free money from a bunch of simps. Jeez. Cheat code.
Bop House, the assistant and stylist, so I had to get 12 tickets. We got 12 artist passes and a table at the main stage, and it ended up being $67,980. You guys know me, so obviously I booked a private jet, and a round trip to Coachella Valley cost me $37,490. We originally had an Airbnb booked way in advance for $29,000, but they canceled on us 3 days before the event. So we had to book another Airbnb, and that total was $83,375. And as
It's amazing that dumb people like Sophie Rain make so much fucking money. Can she even legally drink yet? What the fuck?
said prior, I got a stylist, and all of the clothes that she got me ended up totaling to be $5,000. So the total cost for 3 days at Coachella is $192,845.86. Do you guys think this is worth it?
Now, let's talk about the other side.
No. You got homeless people in this world. You know how many people could have used that? Like, she could have done some, like, philanthropic work and, like, actually help some people and, like, change lives. Like, a lot of people's lives. But no, she's got to go see Justin Bieber sing his songs from when he was a kid and be all depressed.
Because some people's experiences are completely different. There are luxury packages that include fully set up tents, air conditioning, real beds, private bathrooms, and catered meals. Some of these packages can cost up to $16,000.
Some of these people act like they've never seen a nice hotel. You know, like, you can go to Greece for a couple weeks, stay at a place overlooking the Mediterranean. You know, you got the Parthenon in the background, like, man, I don't know. Like, and still save a lot of money. What are these people doing? Go to some museums, learn some shit.
And these aren't rare. This is an entire section of the festival designated for people who want a completely different level of comfort. And while some people are walking for long distances, dealing with that terrible heat and trying to budget meals, others are experiencing something that feels closer to a vacation or being at a resort rather than a music festival because they're being sponsored or they readily have those funds available. If you think about it, Coachella isn't just a music festival. It is a visual representation of the separation of economic classes and a marketing event. Influencers are paid to attend, post, and promote products.
That's what you're doing, guys. You're really like, you're going to pay thousands of dollars to step into a live interaction commercial. That's all this is.
Earn between $2,000 and up to $20,000 during the event.
But still.
And this isn't just about the money. They also receive free flights, free hotel or on-site suites, exclusive access to events, brand-sponsored experiences as well. So while some people are spending thousands of dollars, others are being paid just to be there. And when you scroll online, you can't always tell the difference. The uncomfortable truth is that two people can be standing in the same place at the same event, but have two completely different experiences. One person is budgeting, checking their bank account, and trying to make the experience worth the cost, and the other person is being paid to enjoy it. And the content looks identical unless you look behind the veil. It's content that it was planned, funded, and designed to influence you.
If you're not going to Coachella and you feel really left out, let me tell you why you shouldn't. As someone who went as a normal person and not as an influencer, it was one of the worst concert experiences I've ever had. If you're not going as an influencer...
Am I the only one that thinks, like, wearing all this extra, like, shit around your neck? Like, pick one. Like, I don't know. It's kind of tacky looking. You can buy all this stuff on, like, knockoff sites nowadays. It's just, like, it's not cool anymore wearing jewelry like that. Like, wear some sacred geometry and move on. I don't know. What do you think, chat? And the makeup. What's she doing? All these little dots on her face? Yeah. Get the Dippin' Dots off your face. You're supposed to eat it, not dress yourself with it.
You don't have your entire trip paid for, and Coachella costs like thousands of dollars. The accommodation, the Ubers, the actual festival itself are all so freaking expensive. Like,
so why
super
are you
insanely
going?
expensive, like thousands of dollars. And the accommodations you find will be overpriced, and they're not even that good. Getting inside the festival is a nightmare. Firstly, there's no place for you to be dropped off at. The festival's like really disorganized. So I remember we asked like 20 different people, where do we go? And they were like, oh, we don't know. And they actually worked for the event. So you'll end up sitting in traffic for most of the time before you can find a spot and get dropped off. You think that's the end of it, right? But no, you have another what feels like an hour-long walk to actually get into the festival. The walk you have to do is on this super dusty, bumpy, like unpaved road, which is really hard for.
Like they totally could have brought in a tractor and smoothed that shit out, stamped it down, hit it with the roller. You know what I mean? Like, there's no effort put into this. They're just charging vendors up the yin yang. They're charging all the guests up the yin yang. You know, they pay the performers maybe, but again, it's an advertisement for them. So, are they getting paid as much as they would on their normal tour? Probably not. I don't know, man. What a waste, and there's no shade.
So I was trying to pull them, and then I felt bad because they kept getting knocked over and falling out of their wheelchair. So it was not like wheelchair accessible friendly. Blazing sun is so hot, but there's no places to sit. There's no shade, so you end up just sitting on the ground, and it can get really, really dirty, and people just kind of throw their garbage around. You have two people playing at once, and you'll be like, okay, I can go from one person to the next, but it feels like each stage is like 30 minutes away from each other. So by the time you can run over to the next stage, like that
in the
set
desert,
is over, so you end up just missing a lot of your favorite people, and you only end up getting to see like 5 or 10 minutes of the people you like because you're trying to run.
That's why they do it that way, so that they can crowd control.
Run all over the place. How much you're paying, I would expect the festival to be decorated really cute, but it's really plainly decorated. Like they threw 1 or 2 things here, and most of the things that you see are the stuff that people take pictures in front of and stuff, but that's kind of it. It's not as well decorated as I thought it would be, so that was really disappointing. For me, that's really important. Everyone's vibe is really, really bad. A lot of people were pretty mean. Everyone's just there to say that they were there and to be
is a narcissist. Go hang with the homies in the woods, man. Go to Utah, chill out. Like, you want to hang in the desert, go to Moab. Have some fun. You're going to save money. You're going to be able to romp around. Wah. Yeah, cool guy, but, like, are those lip fillers? Like, what's she really look like? You know, take the makeup off. Like, I don't know. Like, she's not, like, ugly. But is she, like, she just, like, blends in, is what I'm saying. She's just, like, you know. I wouldn't just, like, walk past her and go, damn. You know what I mean? Like, but, like, if I was talking to her, I wouldn't, like, not want to look at her. Does that make sense? As an average dude, she's an average chick. Like, I understand. Like, I ain't Brad Pitt or nothing, but, like, you know, like, you can look at me. You can look at her.
Like, when I'm at Coachella, and it's less about the music and more just about, like, kind of showing off. It felt like when I've been at other concerts, everyone's pretty nice about letting you through and stuff, but at Coachella, everyone can get pretty mean and be like, no, you're not coming this way and
bunch
stuff.
of Instagram cloud goblins. That's why, man.
Work your way through the crowd or to reconnect with your friends or anything if you lose them. It's not as easy to take cute pictures as you think. Literally, everyone's taking pictures. Yo. It's like a field of cow, but instead of cows, it's people. And so everywhere you go, when you try to take a cute picture, someone will bump into you. They'll run into you. There's like 500 people behind you in your photo, so it's like harder to get those cute pics that you see. I ended up having artist guest pass for the last night, but I was so sick because during the daytime it's burning hot, and then at nighttime it's freezing cold, and the dust is really, really intense. Like, you'll blow your nose and there'll be black dirt coming out of your nose, so I just got really sick from the extreme weather changes and the dust. So the third night I couldn't even enjoy the festival, and I probably was only there for like 30 minutes and I had to leave. And so yeah, I don't recommend. I definitely think.
I think like roofers and people in like Arab countries, all the way down south, like, they wrap up their face. They wear long sleeves. They don't let the sun hit them. They don't breathe that dust. Come on now. Everyone's out there just like flaunting skin, breathing in a bunch of crowd. Ooh,
I think there's way better concerts and festivals to go to that are way more cheaper and way more fun and way more worth the money. Don't feel bad if you're missing out.
There's a couple books
this part isn't talked about enough. About 60% of Coachella's attendees use payment plans to afford tickets. That means people are going into debt for an experience. People have varying reactions to people financing the Coachella experience. Some support while others do not understand. I would not finance to go to a concert, but I understand the feeling of not wanting to miss out on the experience. Coachella has generated over $100 million in revenue and has evolved far past just music. It now includes fashion trends, influencer culture, brand sponsorships, and social media content.
Bro. Like
for many people, the music is no
longer
the main focus. It's the experience, or more specifically, what the experience looks like.
Coachella was a boycott.
The reason everybody likes this these days, especially Gen Z, like you guys missed out on like the fun festival culture. And then, like, you know, they didn't have childhoods, so they're all just trying to, like, live this up, you know. That's why it looks like a playground, essentially. You know, they're selling this, like, this part of them that's missing, you know.
Protest against Ticketmaster. So back in 1993, Pearl Jam, huge band, big deal, was in a war with Ticketmaster over them charging unfair fees to their fans. Imagine that. Because of this, Pearl Jam refused to perform at any Ticketmaster venue. Yeah, you can just do that, artists. But they still needed a venue where 25,000 people could go in California and watch them perform. And since all of the stadiums were out of the question, their promoter, Golden Voice, suggested a giant polo field in the middle of nowhere. This was Empire Polo Field in Indio. And prior to Pearl Jam, there had never been a concert there because, well, it was in the middle of the fucking desert. So Pearl Jam does the concert. It's hugely successful, and it becomes this like niche punk rock thing to say that you did because, again, it's 2 hours away from LA in the desert. So in 1999, that same promotion company, Golden Voice, which was acquired for free by two men after the founder was arrested for drug trafficking, decides to put on the Coachella Music Valley and Arts Festival. Tickets were about $50 a day and featured mainly alt music indie artists. They actually didn't sell out until 2004 when Radiohead headlined. And it wasn't until 2007 that they started introducing more mainstream music, not just indie bands. And what it is now is proof that humans will always take something that is meant to fuck the man and somehow morph it and mold it until it becomes a much larger man and then bend right over to make it.
No, it's not humans. It's this evil, corrupt control system led by elite families that come in and they just bastardize the entire process. What up, Drumline? Whoa, whoa, whoa. We getting people in here. 4 viewers. Stacked house today. You guys feel what I'm saying, though? It's just a bunch of corporations that come in and they just turn it upside down like they always do. It's really an American thing more than anything. Like Europeans too. Like these bankers see their eyes on them. Like, ooh, how can we get people to get into a bunch of debt for this? And they make this seem like it's culture. They take it and they hijack it and they sell it back to you. It's ridiculous.
More convenient for them. I mean, you can even buy Coachella tickets on Ticketmaster now. Those fees are no doubt way worse than they were in 1993, and this is why we can't have nice things.
Everyone is starting to be less speechless after seeing the difference between the rich side of Coachella versus the poor side of Coachella. Starting off with the rich side of Coachella, you got people like Sophie Rain spending well over $200,000 to go to Coachella without even blinking an eye. Then you got influencers being invited to Coachella by many brands, staying in some really nice houses with all their expenses being paid for throughout the entire time they're there. And then finally you have people like Kylie Jenner taking a private jet to Coachella, staying in the nicest house you probably have ever seen in your entire life. And of course, all of them get to stand front row for all the performances at Coachella. And then you got the poor side of Coachella, the people that were saving up money throughout the entire year, barely having enough to be able to go, sleeping in like the smallest tents ever while sweating 24/7, waiting in line for hours to take a shower, sometimes not even being able to take a shower because the showers at Coachella close at 7. Then, of course, you know, eating warm food, drinking warm drinks, and sometimes even sleeping on the floor near the stage to try to get the best seats in the house before everyone else.
I was zonked.
The experience if you're rich going to Coachella versus the experience when you're poor going to Coachella is truly night and day, that is for sure, and I'm really curious to know your thoughts about all of this.
So what do you think? Would you pay thousands of dollars to attend Coachella and see your favorite artists? Let me know in the comments. Coachella isn't fake, but it's also not equal. Some people are experiencing a luxury sponsored trip, and others are experiencing a financial stretch. And once you notice the difference, you start to see everything differently. If you found this video insightful,
yeah, head over to Hey Kristan. Lots of cool content like this. It's just, you know, I don't want to go through the internet and scrape together all this nonsense. You know, this is just a side that I don't want on my algorithm, but it peeks its head in here every once in a while when somebody's calling it out. Coachella is a litmus test. Like, you're probably put on a list according to the certain companies and an advertising list and platform that starts to sell you stuff, and they know that you're willing to pay absurd amounts for bullshit. So be aware of that, guys. Capitalism is a joke. It's a race to the top. All these companies, they are obligated to continuously improve profits and lower the bottom line. And it's sad. Why can't a company just maintain status quo, make X amount every quarter? Nope, that's not how it works. Not in this country, not anymore. Coachella is just one of those little stems from that system. Don't fall for